Did you know that sitting quietly in your kitchen next to the salt, the pepper, and maybe the olive oil is one of the most underrated health secrets in the world? It's small. It's cheap. It doesn't look impressive. And yet, it might hold the key to easing pain, restoring balance, and protecting your body as you age. I'm talking about baking soda. Yes, humble, ordinary baking soda. The same powder we toss into cakes, use to freshen the fridge or sprinkle in the laundry. But here's the truth, over 80% of people who use baking soda have absolutely no idea what it's truly capable of. They see it as a kitchen staple, but they've missed its deeper story. Because behind that white powder is a long, fascinating history of healing and some powerful ways it can support your health, especially if you're over 60. So what are we all overlooking? And how can this common pantry item actually help with issues like heartburn, fatigue, and even kidney function? Stay with me. This might just change the way you see your health and your kitchen forever. And before we dive deeper, if you haven't already, take a second to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. We're building a community here that values smart, natural ways to age with power and peace. Let's begin with one of the most common complaints among older adults. 1. Relieve heartburn and acid reflux. Naturally. You know that burning feeling in your chest after dinner, the one that creeps up behind your breastbone and ruins a perfectly peaceful evening. For many seniors, heartburn has become a regular and unwelcome visitor. Acid reflux, indigestion, discomfort after a meal. It starts to feel like the price we pay for aging. But what if there were a better, simpler way to deal with it? What if instead of reaching for a bottle of antacids or worse, enduring another sleepless night, you could reach for something already sitting in your kitchen cabinet? Enter baking soda. When mixed with water, baking soda, sodium bicarbonate becomes a natural antacid. It forms an alkaline solution that calms the acid in your stomach. This isn't just some old home remedy, this is basic chemistry. When the baking soda reacts with the stomach's hydrochloric acid, it neutralizes the excess and produces water, salt, and carbon dioxide. That means the painful burn gone, the tightness in your chest eased, the acidic taste climbing up your throat neutralized within minutes. And perhaps the best part, you didn't need a prescription. You didn't have to wait in line at the pharmacy. You didn't introduce another chemical into your already overloaded body. You just used a teaspoon, a glass of water, and a little know-how. But let's pause here because I want to be clear. While this remedy is fast and effective, it's not for everyday use, and it's not for everyone. Baking soda contains sodium, which can be problematic for those with high blood pressure, kidney disease, or heart conditions. If that's you, check with your doctor first. Still, for occasional heartburn relief, especially after a heavy or late dinner, baking soda is a gentle ally. No pills, no side effects, just calm in a cup. Imagine finishing your meal, sipping on a warm drink, and actually feeling your body relax instead of bracing for discomfort. That's the kind of small but powerful change that can completely transform the way you experience aging. And as soothing as that relief may be, it's just the beginning. Because the very same drink that eases acid reflux may also be quietly helping one of the most overworked and underappreciated parts of your body. 2. Support kidney function. Think about this: every single minute, your kidneys filter about a half cup of blood, removing waste and balancing electrolytes. They're constantly working behind the scenes, silently, faithfully, and often without much thanks. But with age, and especially with conditions like diabetes or hypertension, your kidneys start to struggle. You might notice subtle signs: swelling in the ankles, fatigue, more frequent bathroom trips, or changes in your blood pressure. These small signals often point to a bigger issue, a system under stress. Here's where things get interesting. Recent studies suggest that baking soda may play a surprising role in protecting kidney function, particularly for people in the early stages of chronic kidney disease (CKD). You see, when kidneys begin to weaken, they struggle to maintain the body's acid-base balance. This can lead to a condition called metabolic acidosis, where too much acid builds up in the bloodstream, quietly causing damage, speeding up kidney decline, and even affecting muscles and bones. Baking soda in carefully measured doses acts as a buffer. It helps neutralize that acid, taking the pressure off your kidneys. In fact, one long-term study found that CKD patients who took small sodium bicarbonate supplements experienced slower disease progression, and many even avoided dialysis. Let that sink in, a common kitchen ingredient offering real protection for one of the most vital organs in your body. But again, this isn't about grabbing the box and taking spoonfuls on your own. This kind of treatment should always be guided by a healthcare provider. When used wisely, it becomes part of a larger toolkit for supporting kidney health naturally. It's not about curing everything. It's about making smarter choices, stacking small wins, and giving your body the support it needs to keep going strong. Just imagine feeling more energy, fewer digestive complaints, and more control over your health, all thanks to something you already own. What's next? And that's just the first two uses. In the next part of this series, we'll look at even more powerful ways baking soda might support your health, like improving oral hygiene, helping with urinary tract infections, and possibly even easing inflammation in the body. But before we move on, I'd love to know, have you ever tried baking soda for anything other than cooking or cleaning? Type 1 in the comments if you found this helpful so far, or 0 if not. Your feedback shapes the kind of videos I create for you, and your voice matters here. If you're enjoying this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There's so much more to discover, especially when it comes to natural, effective ways to feel better without relying on pills or pricey products. And remember, sometimes the most powerful remedies are hiding in plain sight. All it takes is a little awareness, a little curiosity, and a willingness to try. Until next time, take care of your body, listen to its signals, and never underestimate the power of something as simple as a teaspoon of baking soda and a glass of water. So we've just seen how a simple glass of baking soda water can support your kidneys, a quiet ally, in helping you stay independent, avoid invasive treatments, and keep living your life with rhythm and ease. But the story doesn't end there. 3. Ease urinary tract discomfort. UTI support. Now let's talk about something that quietly steals comfort from millions of older adults, especially women, and often goes undiscussed. Few discomforts in later life are as relentless or disruptive as urinary tract infections. UTIs don't just cause physical pain, they disturb sleep dignity and peace of mind. Imagine needing the restroom again and again, only to be met each time with a burning, stinging sensation and no real relief. Sound familiar? For many seniors, this becomes a frustrating cycle. Antibiotics help for a while. Then the symptoms return. And in between infections, there's still that low-grade discomfort, like an invisible splinter that never quite goes away. Here's where baking soda gently steps in, not as a miracle cure, but as a soft, supportive hand. When dissolved in water and taken correctly, baking soda creates an alkaline solution. This small shift in pH may help reduce the acidity of urine, which is important because bacteria like E. coli, a common cause of UTIs, prefer acidic environments to grow and thrive. By making your internal environment less inviting for bacteria, you may be helping your body create a natural line of defense. Even when no active infection is present, many older adults live with residual inflammation in the urinary tract. A slightly more alkaline urine can soothe irritation and calm that nagging discomfort that often goes unnoticed or untreated by conventional care. It's a small act, half a teaspoon of baking soda stirred into a glass of warm water. But for someone battling the emotional and physical toll of recurring UTIs, it can feel like reclaiming a piece of control over a body that sometimes feels unpredictable. And there's more than just anecdotal support for this. In one study, women with frequent UTIs who added sodium bicarbonate as part of their care routine reported fewer flare-ups. They experienced less urgency, less burning, and greater daily comfort. It wasn't a replacement for medical care, but it was a reliable companion. And isn't that what so many seniors are looking for? Not just another pill to juggle, but a simple, affordable way to feel a little more at ease in their own skin. Of course, let's be clear, this is not a replacement for professional treatment. UTIs can escalate quickly, especially in older adults with diabetes or those using catheters. Any signs of infection should always be taken seriously and discussed with a healthcare provider. But used occasionally and with medical guidance, baking soda may offer a moment of calm during an anxious time, a way to ease discomfort while waiting for an appointment or between courses of treatment. And when you've experienced that kind of gentle relief, you begin to wonder, where else could this work? Because, believe it or not, the very same solution that calms the urinary tract may also help soothe a very different kind of pain, the fiery stabbing pain of a gout flare. 4. Help with gout flares. If you've ever woken up in the middle of the night with your toe, ankle, or knee feeling swollen hot and too painful to touch, even the weight of a bedsheet unbearable, you already know the cruelty of gout. It doesn't just hurt, it hijacks your day, your sleep, your ability to walk or even rest. For many older adults, it feels like a betrayal, especially after doing everything right, eating better, staying active, following the doctor's advice, and still the flares come. At the heart of gout is uric acid, a substance that builds up in the blood and can form crystals in the joints. These tiny crystals are razor-sharp, literally. They trigger inflammation that's so intense it feels like shards of glass under the skin. Doctors often prescribe medications to lower uric acid or manage the inflammation, and they absolutely have their place. But what if alongside those medications you could do something simple at home that made those attacks less likely or a little easier to bear? That's where baking soda once again shows up as a surprising ally. Here's why baking soda is alkaline. When taken as a properly prepared drink, it can gently shift the body's pH, making it slightly more alkaline. This environment makes uric acid more soluble, easier for the kidneys to flush out before it crystallizes. Less uric acid in your system means fewer painful flare-ups. And when crystals do form, they may dissolve more readily, reducing the duration and intensity of the attack. This doesn't mean you can throw away your medications or ignore medical advice, but it does mean you may have an extra tool, one that's safe, affordable, and already sitting in your pantry. For seniors who felt powerless in the face of repeated gout flares, that can be a powerful shift. Because every small step toward managing your health naturally is a step toward greater independence. And let's not forget, comfort matters. Feeling empowered matters. Having a say in your own care, even in small ways, matters. Closing transition optional. If you found this helpful so far, type the number 1 in the comments so I know you're here with me. Your feedback helps me create content that truly serves you. And stick around, because in the next segment, we'll explore how baking soda might also help with oral health, energy balance, and even inflammation. You won't want to miss it. Hit the like button if this made you think twice about what's sitting in your kitchen cabinet, and don't forget to subscribe for more simple, science-backed tips for powerful aging. Earlier, we explored how baking soda might ease the pain of gout by gently helping the body process uric acid. But the benefits of this simple remedy don't stop there. They continue into areas of health we often overlook, yet deeply affect how we feel each day. Offer real relief. Several emerging studies are now pointing to a hopeful insight: when taken under medical supervision, sodium bicarbonate may actually help reduce uric acid levels in the blood. This isn't just about relieving the occasional flare-up, it's about easing the deeper metabolic imbalances that make those painful attacks more likely in the first place. To be clear, baking soda is not a replacement for prescribed medication, nor should it be used as a standalone treatment. But for many seniors, especially those managing recurring gout or similar conditions, it can become a reliable companion, a small daily act of prevention. Just a quiet, steady step toward experiencing less pain and more comfort. And perhaps even more powerful than the physical relief it may offer is what this small ritual comes to represent. In a body that sometimes feels like it's turning against you, that teaspoon of baking soda stirred into a warm glass of water becomes an act of empowerment. It's a gesture that says, "I'm still here. I'm still trying." It's a moment of care, of listening to your body's signals no matter how quiet they are. But the story doesn't end with the joints. Just as baking soda can help dissolve what hardens or inflames inside us, it may also neutralize something that often lingers closer to the surface: discomfort in the mouth. Acids, bacteria, and inflammation can make even a simple smile feel like a challenge. Could this same kitchen staple help restore comfort and freshness in such a personal way? You might be surprised. Soothe mouth, sores and bad breath. As we age, we grow more sensitive to the subtle discomforts that once might have gone unnoticed. A small sore inside the cheek, a persistent dry or bitter taste, or the quiet self-consciousness that arises when we wonder if our breath might be less than fresh. These aren't life-threatening issues, but they can be life-disrupting. They affect how we speak, how we eat, and how confidently we connect with others. Whether it's a lingering canker sore irritation from dentures, or simply the changes brought on by age or medications, these oral discomforts are incredibly common and often go unspoken. But they matter. Baking soda, that humble white powder sitting quietly in our kitchen cabinets, may hold more healing power than we realize. Its use in oral care isn't new. Our grandparents likely used it for brushing teeth or freshening breath, but today, science is catching up with tradition. Sodium bicarbonate works by neutralizing the acids in the mouth. When harmful bacteria don't have the acidic environment they need to thrive, they're less able to cause the irritation, bad breath plaque, and gum inflammation that many seniors struggle with. Used as a gentle mouth rinse, just half a teaspoon stirred into a glass of warm water, baking soda can soothe irritated tissues. For those who deal with regular mouth ulcers or sore spots from dentures, this simple solution can reduce the stinging pain and even promote faster healing. Unlike alcohol-based mouthwashes that burn and dry out the mouth, baking soda is soft balancing and non-irritating. It gives your mouth the chance to heal in peace. For seniors who suffer from dry mouth, a common side effect of many medications, this gentle rinse can be especially comforting. It doesn't just moisturize, it brings a sense of relief, even restoration. And what about breath? That invisible, deeply personal aspect of how we present ourselves. Baking soda doesn't simply cover up odors like mints or sprays. It works at the source, changing the internal chemistry so odor-causing compounds can't thrive. The result, a cleaner-feeling mouth, more confidence to speak, smile, and enjoy close moments, and a new, simple ritual that becomes an act of daily self-respect. It's a reminder that even the smallest discomforts deserve care. That dignity isn't only about managing diseases, it's also about preserving our sense of wholeness from aching joints all the way to a fresh, easy smile. But believe it or not, the journey doesn't end there. Just as baking soda supports oral comfort, it may also play a role in how we recover after movement, helping to reduce soreness and ease tired muscles. Could a small glass of this humble solution really support the body after physical activity? Let's explore how. So far, we've seen how something as simple as baking soda can gently support digestion, joint comfort, and oral health. But what if the real magic lies in how it helps restore something even deeper, your body's natural balance? Support a balanced body, pH. Our bodies are remarkably wise. Every breath we take, every beat of our heart, every repair our cells make, it's all guided by a delicate inner balance. And at the core of that balance is something most of us rarely consider, pH. pH, short for potential of hydrogen, is the measure of how acidic or alkaline our body fluids are. And while it may sound like a dry science term, it quietly influences nearly every system in our body. You see, even a slight shift toward excess acidity in the body can begin to take its toll. It might show up as fatigue that lingers, low energy that just won't lift, or an increase in joint aches, digestive upset, or inflammation that no longer fades with rest. For older adults especially, whose systems naturally lose some buffering capacity over time, maintaining a healthy pH becomes even more crucial. So what pushes the body into an acidic state? Modern life mostly. A diet rich in red meats, sugars, processed snacks, and low in leafy vegetables tends to nudge our internal environment toward acidity. Add to that daily stress-reduced physical movement and common medications, and the body's ability to maintain equilibrium starts to weaken. Now, it's true that your bloodstream works tirelessly to stay within a safe pH range. That's non-negotiable. If blood pH shifts too far, it can be dangerous. But to protect that balance, the body often compensates by pulling resources from elsewhere. Muscles, bones, joints, and tissues can begin to absorb that strain silently. Over time, this can leave you feeling worn down without fully understanding why. Here's where baking soda in its most basic form may offer subtle yet meaningful support. When properly diluted in water, just a small amount of baking soda drink can act as an alkaline buffer. It doesn't override your body's natural systems. Rather, it works with them, gently neutralizing excess acids that may be building up in your tissues. It's not dramatic, it's not a magic bullet, but many seniors who include a small amount of baking soda in their routine a few times a week report something remarkable, feeling a little lighter, a little clearer, more energized, less bogged down by the heaviness that acidity can cause. This isn't about extreme alkalinity or jumping on the latest health fad. It's about balance, giving your body a tiny assist in doing what it's already trying to do every single day. It's chemistry, used wisely and respectfully. And when your internal environment is more balanced, everything tends to flow better. Digestion becomes smoother, sleep feels more restful, energy has more stability, even your immune system may respond more calmly and effectively, but the benefits don't stop at what's happening inside. Did you know that excess acidity doesn't just impact your internal organs and cells? It can also reach the surface of your skin. Many people are surprised to learn that when the body is slightly more acidic, it can manifest as dry, itchy, or irritated skin. Especially for older adults, this kind of discomfort can be persistent and frustrating. The usual creams and lotions may help for a while, but the root cause often lies deeper. Could baking soda help here too? Think about it. If a gentle baking soda solution can soothe your stomach, could it also calm the skin when applied topically? The answer may surprise you, and the remedy might be the gentlest skin treatment hiding in plain sight. Conclusion: a small step, a lasting impact. As we age, we begin to learn something that youth often misses. Real wellness isn't found in fads, but in quiet acts of care. It's not about chasing trends. It's about tuning into the body's whispers, those soft signals that something is off, and responding with simplicity and wisdom. Baking soda might not look like much. It's plain, it's cheap, it's something we often overlook. But as you've seen, this humble powder carries a quiet power, a legacy of healing that's now being confirmed by science. From easing digestion and calming aching joints, to supporting kidney health, freshening the breath, and gently rebalancing the body's pH, baking soda offers steady natural support. It doesn't promise miracles, it doesn't overwhelm, it simply helps. And in a world where so much feels out of our control, where medications can feel endless and complicated, there's something truly empowering about choosing a remedy that's natural, affordable, and accessible. The most important message, though, isn't just about baking soda. It's about you. Your right to ask questions, to explore gentle solutions, to listen to your body and respond with care. You've lived long enough to know no one remedy works for everyone, and that's why balance and caution matter. Always talk to your doctor before adding anything new, especially if you're managing conditions or taking daily medications. Yes, baking soda is powerful, but like anything with power, it must be used wisely. Now that you've learned about its benefits, you hold more than information, you hold insight. Whether you choose to try it for yourself or simply keep this knowledge in your heart, you've taken a meaningful step toward more mindful living. So here's to small things that make a big difference, to aging not as decline but as refinement, and to you for choosing curiosity, for honoring your health, and for staying open to all the possibilities still ahead. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone you care about. You never know whose life a little wisdom might touch. Your journey isn't ending, it's deepening. You're right where you need to be. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and how you might apply it in your life. Let's grow together. If you enjoyed this video, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, feel free to leave a 0. Your feedback helps us create better, more helpful content just for you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more natural, empowering health insights. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your terms.